All right, so COD, it just doesn't work, but with emulators, it'll work just fine. So let me go into PPSSPP and let me go into Tekken. And sorry, I'm not playing sound. I just don't want to get copyrighted and them decide, oh, we're just going to put ads on the video despite me not being monetized. So, yeah, let me just go into practice. I guess so. The only problem is that since it's a D-pad and it's a virtual D-pad, you can't do stuff like, say, up forward or crouch back, really. So that's just the one thing that with a fighting game you just can't do, right? And that's like the one thing I would say, if you have a PS4 controller, just connect it and you can do it like that. But say you're playing a DS game or something like that. And let me go into I guess Mario Kart works. I don't have any Castlevania games on here, so I can't even just use that. But I guess I'll just do a time trial here. And there's like very little like delay. Most of it is me just missing the fucking God, man. Most of it is just me missing the input myself, but it works really well. And it feels nice. It doesn't feel like it's not registering my touch or anything like that. Like there's a little bit of like some sort of delay, but it's not terrible. I don't even think I have any Saturn. I don't think I have any Saturn games on here yet. I keep forgetting to download some. But I guess I can do... I guess I can do a little bit of Smash Melee here. Nigga, didn't I? Oh yeah, right, for this I have to use the fucking... Where my boy at? Let's do random. The one thing that's a bit like weird is like the analog. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I think it's this stage. Yeah, this stage is not that great. It works just fine. Like on other stages, there's certain stages where it'll be just like bad, but overall, Dolphin is good and it's solid, and it just feels really good to use, like really good to use. And if you don't want to use the virtual pad, like I said, what can you do? Just use the regular controllers. Like, I don't know if Xbox controllers sync through Bluetooth, but PlayStation controllers do. And on the V60, compared to like other LG phones, aside from the G8, because the G8 is actually easy to do it with too. But say the G7, I never was able to get it to sync. V40, same thing. So it's like, God, what the heck? Oh shit. Same thing. But it's like, my bad. I got sidetracked. But, yeah, other phones, it just wouldn't work as well. But for the V60, it works just fine. All you got to do, I guess I'll show you because I did bring it with me. Limited edition controller right here. So what you do you go one, you got to set Bluetooth on. And as you guys can see, wireless controller is here. But the problem is that it won't automatically connect. So I just go back into here. You press and hold the PlayStation button and the share button. And as you guys can see, it's blinking like this, right? So yeah, I might have to rescan for it. That's the only problem, is that it won't automatically reconnect. But just unpair it. Start searching. Oh wait, no. You know what it's doing? It's trying to it's trying to search for my PlayStation. Give me a second. Let it cut off. Look at that. When it starts blinking like this, that's when it's trying to pair. So wireless controller, pair. And as you guys can see, now it has a blue light. It looks teal on the camera, but it has a blue light. As you guys can see, it's working. Let me go back into Tekken here. And eventually the on-screen buttons will just go off. But,
get ready for the next battle.
Let's try the good old 10-hit combo here. It's been a while. Give me a second. Oh, what the fuck, Tekken? With Tekken, you really gotta press the buttons like fast, and I don't know why that happens. I used to be a master at this combo. What the fuck? And you can press the PlayStation button and it'll just go back to home. The only thing I can't figure out is just how to like regularly turn it off. So I just cut the Bluetooth off. And it just works just fine like that. So yeah, you can get like a PlayStation controller or something, or like even like a cheaper Bluetooth controller, and it'll work just fine. And to me, that makes it a really good option for gaming. It stays cool. Even in the dual screen case, you use it. It does get warm if you're doing quite a bit, but it won't get like overly hot. It won't get to like 60 degrees Celsius or anything like that. Say like the OnePlus 6T will, but it does indeed stay pretty warm. I mean, it does indeed get pretty warm, but overall it'll stay relatively cool in like the 40s and 50s. It won't be like, it won't be like, oh, it's getting into the mid 60s and now it's all hot. And that's my problem with like the OnePlus 6T and why I wouldn't recommend it for gaming. But overall, I think the V60 in the dual screen case, the only problem is when you try to take pictures, right? And it's like, obviously you can't fully close it because you cover the camera. So you either have to have it like this or have it like this. But a cool thing is that, say, when the dual screen is on, and there's a couple things you could do here too, where, sorry, I had to enable to log into Call of Duty. I had to freaking get back onto Facebook. But you can do stuff like, I think I covered this stuff in my original V60 dual screen video, but you can do stuff like that. I can't, for whatever reason, I can't get wide view to work, and honestly, I'm never going to use it anyway, so it's fine. But Yeah, the dual screen is really fast. And say you have it open like this and you just want to do that, it'll automatically close. It'll automatically shut off. Same with this. You do this, it'll shut both screens off. You don't have to manually hit the power button to turn it off. So that's really nice as well. Is there anything? Oh, give me 1 second. Also, what's really cool is this is not like some higher end active stylus, but it's an active stylus. So it's not like a bamboo one or anything like that where it has multiple buttons. I'm going to go more in depth when I get like a more higher end one that I can do more with, but this works just fine. So say you want to draw on here, right? I didn't even press it all the way that time. Both the dual screen and the main screen will register active styluses, right? And that's really nice. That's really cool. It isn't just, oh, you get one display and it doesn't do everything that the other one can do. Both of them can do. There are certain things that the secondary display can't do. Like, what am I trying to think of? But it's really weird because on the secondary display, it's like an entirely different phone. But what you can do is that you can sync brightness. So say you want the dual display to be brighter than the main display. You can do that. I always have it sync, so it says that. You can take a singular screenshot on here. One thing you can't do is you can't set more buttons on the bottom here. That's like my other gripe that I wish LG would implement, because that's something that I feel is kind of lacking here. Like, so that I don't have to go all the way to the top of the display and able to do that. Or I could just press the screenshot button right there and do that, just like I can on here. You can't really see the notification drop down button, but it's right there. And yeah, it's like certain things like that I wish they would implement. I don't understand why it's not there. Hopefully within the update. And this thing does get its own like separate firmware updates and stuff like that. Kind of like the AKG USB Samsung headphones. Same thing. Those also get firmware updates. This does the same thing. So hopefully they can add that in a future update, because that would be nice. But other than that, I really do like this case. It alleviated the problem where I can't really find a case for the V60 with a kickstand. So this is actually really nice. I could have it up here. I could push it down here and have it like this. You could also do this, like do that. You could do this. Like, it's a really nice case. The only problem is that the hinge is a bit looser, but it's honestly not that bad. And they've honestly improved it with like the velvet, and that's something that's really nice. But yeah, that's all I really want to do for this video. Do you have the LG V60 with the dual screen case? Do you plan on getting it? Let me know in the comment section below. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support. Hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, whatever time of day it is in your area. Have a good one. What's up, y'all? Sparta here. So for this video, I finally want to talk about the LG dual screen case, and overall, I guess, my review of it, the phone with the case, using it. Now I'm going to do a separate review with it not having the case at all, mainly because there are going to be people that just buy the phone, and there are going to be people that get the phone with the case. So yeah, let's get into this. So what would I say this is? Who would I say this is for? It's for people that want more productivity out of their phone, right? They want more options to do more things, right? So, there's the sorry, let me wipe this off. There's the Galaxy Fold and stuff like that, where you fold it out and it's just this huge display. And some people want that. But there are also people that think that's, I wouldn't necessarily say dumb, but kind of useless, and just want like a phone that one could just be in a case, be in a protective case like this, and then fold out. And then you do this, and let me turn this display down. Do this, and you have two displays where you could do whatever you want on both displays at the same time. And it's like, to me, that's something that's really nice because, one, it's a protective case. Aside from, this obvious bare strip right here, but there's really nothing here that's like gonna be super bad to get damaged aside from the side rail and the power button. This whole glass right here is probably the worst part because you drop it, guess what? It cracks. And thankfully with the LG Velvet, LG has decided to just go with like a textured front with the screen strip right here being bigger and just have it like that. So that's nice as well. And it's just fine that way. And guess what? Even if you don't want to use the dual screen all that much, you just want to use this as a regular case. The only problem is that, say you have 10p1s or something like that, or short tapes, or any sort of like higher end, I guess you would say higher end, compared to like $20 to $50 IEMs that have these big shieldings right here. They're not going to go in. They'll seem like they go in, but they don't. So you have to get an extender for it. And to me, that's fine. I got them too, and they work just fine. Or if you just say you're just doing a commute and you don't really care if you use higher quality headphones or not, just get like some $20 Skull Candies or something, or some $20 Sony earbuds or something like that. And those will work totally fine, and you just don't have to worry about that. Or if you do want that, you could just, for those IEMs in particular, the short tapes of the 10p1s, just get a new cable that doesn't have that big old shielding on it, and you'll be fine. Same thing with like the Sennheiser HD 650s. That won't fit either. So it's either get an extender, or you have to just get a new cable. And the cables for the HD 650s are expensive. So mainly because they're proprietary. So yeah. That's pretty much the one problem I have with it, is that the headphone jack cutout is not as big. And even on the Velvet, it looks to be pretty much the same size, but honestly, it's fine. Overall, the cutouts are nice. They're not like off center or anything like that. They don't look like this was cheaply made or anything like that. It looks like a really high quality case. Aside from that looks a bit, obviously, even officially made cases have issues with being truly form fitting. So it's not even that big of a deal. I've had official Samsung cases that haven't been truly form fitting, and every cutout is centered to where whatever those cutouts are meant to be for. So it's whatever. But yeah, so on this front, you get this front display right here, right? And you could either set it to be always on, and you just do that through here. As you guys can see, display timeout 10 seconds, or keep display turned on. I keep it at 10 seconds solely because of the fact that I keep it at 10 seconds because when you put it in your pocket, the display doesn't shut off. So It's just something I'm like, nah, I'd rather just have it cut on when I decide I want it to be cut on. So yeah, there's that. Um, you have this like magnetic like charger port right here, and you get a little adapter in the box and stuff like that, and it's very high quality. It stays in there and stuff like that, no problem really. There's definitely going to be times where it decides, oh, say when you when you bend it a little bit, it'll decide it wants to like get loose, like say with old MacBooks and stuff like that. But overall, it stays in totally fine. It's still fast chargers. If I remember correctly, you can still data transfer with it, but the only thing you can't do with it is you can't use like USB-C headphones or anything like that with it. So say you're coming from a Samsung phone and you have those USB AKG headphones, you can't use them with the you can't use them with that adapter. So just keep that in mind. Which I don't know why you would do that anyway. If you're going to this phone, I'd advise getting I'd advise getting better headphones in general. So yeah, that's fine. This case doesn't interfere with anything like signal. It doesn't interfere with anything like call quality. And you could also set up stuff to where, say, where is it at? Is it in here? It should be. Oh, it's right there. You go right here, and as you guys can see, answer call with volume up key, auto answer, and call with Google Assistant key, and call with power key. So say when the case is closed and you get a call, it comes up, you just press the Google Assistant key, and that's your call answer and call end button. And that's totally fine. It also doesn't impede on anything like speaker sound or anything like that. In a way, it kind of amplifies it because say you cover this bottom speaker, it still is loud. It's weird. It's actually really nice. Even the top grill is actually good too. Like one other thing is that the main display is a bit finicky. Like sometimes when you raise it, it'll decide it wants to turn on. Other times it won't, which is fine. All you really got to do is press the power button. And it isn't like the power button isn't exposed, so it's not mushy or anything like that. And the buttons, they're not mushy. They feel good. They feel nice. The one other thing is that this is a bit loose. It's like you put a little bit of force on it, it will move, which is something they also address with the Velvet. It's a bit more stiff. But one thing I really do like about this is that you could just use it as a kickstand. And it pretty much alleviates my need to get a case with a kickstand. And that's nice. It does add quite a bit of bulk. It is a bulky case. I do like this like ridged backing on it and stuff like that. It feels nice. It guards the camera really well. As you guys can see, it's pretty deep in there. And it's just something that's really nice in terms of aesthetically. I do like the look of the case. So let's talk about, stuff like battery life. And I've touched on this in my, pushing the LG V60's battery life to its limit video, where basically when you use the dual screen when using the dual screen all day or something like that, which I feel is kind of unrealistic, right? You'll maybe get like half the runtime that you would typically get. Say if you typically get like 12 hours of screen on time, which you can get on this phone, you could almost get 13 hours of screen on time on this phone. You'll maybe get nearly 6 or above 6 hours of screen on time, depending on what you're doing, right? Say I'm editing a video. Say I'm editing a video on the bottom screen, but then I'm watching YouTube on the top screen. That's one use case. Or I'm playing a game, or I have a game and idle on the bottom screen and I'm watching YouTube on the top screen, or I'm playing two different games on each screen and stuff like that. Depending on what you do, obviously your battery life may vary, but I've never seen it dip below like 4.5 hours. It's never done that. So that's something that I would say is not really a deal breaker. It's not really something that I would look to and be like, oh no, this phone can't get this kind of runtime out of it. It still can get really good runtime out of it if you use it as like, if you constantly use the dual screen. I don't. I use it when I actually want, want to do more than one thing at once. And honestly, I feel that's the best part of it. And that's why, and of course, my Note 10 stopped charging. Is the best part of it. You get the option. And if you don't want to do that, you just want to have one phone, pop it out. And you have your V60 as just a basic phone back. It connects with USB-C right here. You put it back in, and there you go. It's just simple, it's basic, and it obviously adds a bit of heft. If you're worried about that, the V60 is already a heavy phone, but this will indeed add a little bit more heft. Gaming on here. Gaming. Now, here's the thing. There are certain games that will decide just not to register the gamepad. Let me look at this here real quick. So let me boot up Dead Cells. And this isn't to slag on any of these companies or anything, right? That's not Dead Cells. It's not Dead Cells. Let me turn that down. That game has licensed music. Dead Cells is literally right by it. So yeah, boot up Dead Cells. It'll register like the D-pad and the analog, but it won't register the face buttons. And one thing that's really nice, as you guys can see, there's like this vibrate button right here. You turn it on and the haptics turn on, and you could probably not hear it, but it feels really nice. and it's just quality. But yeah, in terms of that, it just doesn't register it. Even if I go into like, say, options, and I go into controller, it registers that there's a controller here, right? But say I try to map the button. It won't let me map the button. And to me, that's kind of bad. I hope they update it so that it works, but it just doesn't work. Or I go to, say, let me look here. What's another game? Let's try Tesla versus Lovecraft here. Oh, I know Tesla versus Lovecraft actually works. The problem is, I'm trying to remember how to shoot. Nah. Yeah, I think that's the issue, is that I don't remember how to play. But it'll definitely register. That's not what I meant to do. Leave. Let me try. Oh, wait, I gotta install Call of Duty. Actually, give me a second.